This is Martial Arts Explorer, exploring functional self-defense techniques as revealed in classical martial arts of all styles. I'm Scott Combs. Last time we explored a double strike or a high-low strike. This technique shows up in many classical forms, and this time we're looking at another way to use this technique. Michael's on the dojo floor.
Thanks, Scott. Thanks for joining us. We had a nice move that comes into a shoulder lock today. Now, recently we talked about doing this technique with a down counter and a middle counter coming up, which is so similar to so many moves that have these double striking motions, whether wide or narrow. It's the same basic idea. We looked at a takedown before that tore the body and pulled from the head. This time we're actually going to work on locking someone up and then the potential of a really nasty takedown afterwards. Kelly's going to come in and join me. And then we're going to start off with a pushing technique. So it's reaching in front this way, and we're going to intercept. Now when I intercept, all I want to do is parry to the inside. I'm going to start to hook this through. There's my down counter. My next motion is this middle counter or upwards motion coming up this direction, which I'm going to strike on the bicep close to the elbow, and we're going to start to pull in this way. I keep tucking the hand behind the body, and then from here I'm going to finish by snaking in and grabbing. So this motion is providing me the opportunity to step into my lock. Scoop in, strike up, can finish turning, and reach up and grab here. Now, I want to get it nice and tight. Now, Kelly's pretty flexible, so I'm bringing her arm up quite a ways, and I want to grab onto the shoulder and really start to force this in to apply some pressure. You're going to find people have different resistance to this and different feeling of pain on this, so be very careful. A lot of unflexible guys are going to start to react way down here, and it's going to hurt if you push their hand all the way up to the top of their shoulder. Kelly, I want to go on pretty deep, otherwise she would actually just turn and rotate out of this. So one more time to follow the move. Hook, bring through, step in, strike up, reach, and grab into here. Now I talked about a nasty takedown. Now here it is. From here, if I step in front, block this leg, snap my hip, and drive her forward, it's going to drive her right into face first on the ground. Now, if you're working with a partner, because the way the shoulder is locked up, if you throw this hard, there's a very good chance of tearing or popping something up here. So you need to do this light. Good way to practice is do a roll. Block the leg off and let your partner roll out and across and turn sideways and roll through. It gives them the idea, it lets you know where the takedown is, but you're not going to hurt somebody, because if I throw this with the arm locked up in here and I step in and I pop this hard and I force this down, this is going to start to really tear up. So make sure getting here. Now the other thing to notice is if I block this up, if someone who's inexperienced with falling, and if I trap this leg up, the leg is going to lock out. The leg locks out as I start to throw this because they don't have their knees bent. I'm going to damage the knees. A lot of things to be careful, but it's a great throw. You're set up for it, so be aware of it. The other technique I like to use is just to ground somebody. If I have them in here, I apply pressure, I'm going to circle around. I just keep circling until I bring them down. I like to base their head against the ground so it traps one arm. I'm trapping the other arm, and there's not a lot of position, a lot of room for them to move, and I can still apply further pressure into the facial pressure points if I need to. All right, we're going to get the class together and let them give it a try. All right, guys, we're looking at Pinyon Godan again. This move that comes up in two directions with a down counter and a middle counter coming up. I'm working with Jordan here. Can I have you take a step out, just out of the way for it? Thank you. As I'm working with Jordan here, this hand we're going to work off of a pusher. He's coming and he's going to push me in this direction. I want to just intercept, move offline as needed, bring this down. Now I'm going to strike up and start to bend the bicep, and I want to make sure and drive the hand behind his body. Reach up, grab onto his shoulder, and here's my lock as I start to drive in. If I need additional pressure, I can reach behind and I can grab this and rotate this up, and that's really going to start to add pain to this technique as we go in. So one more time, just reaches through, intercept, hook down, strike up, roll up and in. Now for today, guys, we're going to work a little light takedown, and if you're comfortable with it, we're going to go ahead and throw it where you step in front. Now here I'm going to apply pressure forward and pull across. I can add my additional hand if I want to. I'm going to pop the leg, but Jordan's just going to do a light sideways roll out of this to get used to this. Now for some of the newer belts, if you're not comfortable with this, we're just going to step in front and we're going to stop. So it's going to look like this as it comes in. We're going to step to here and we're going to stop right here just so we get the idea of where it is, but we don't have to do the actual takedown. All right, guys, let's give it a try. All right, you can see how this technique works out real quick and easy off the push, dropping through. Now I want you to notice there's actually a different way you can apply this. I'm working with Jordan again real quick. You can join me. When this push comes in, instead of reaching underneath, you have the option to actually reach over the top too. Grab behind the tricep and pull, and then push the same, and it gives me the exact same motion. So in reality, it doesn't follow our interpretation, it doesn't follow the kata quite the same, your forms, but it gives you a different way to grab, and that's okay, whatever you're comfortable with. So if this reaches in, we can actually reach from the top and pull back and drive forward, and we end up in the same spot. Now we also get questions about why don't we work off the punch and things coming in. Jordan's throwing this as a jab, all right? I need to try and catch it this way. That's actually very, very hard to do, and I'm not saying you can't do it, I'm just saying it takes a lot of training. Your average person isn't gonna be able to do it. Get him a good jab, all right? As he puts this on my nose now, all right? All right, I can start to get in, all right? If I know what's coming, I'm having a little bit of luck touching it even, all right? You're not gonna be able to get these grabs very easy, so that's why we work this off the push. Don't think that if someone's gonna come and do this to you that you're gonna reach out and snag this and hook them through. And I'm not saying you can't practice and that it won't work. I'm just saying it's not very likely. So be realistic in your training that this motion is from a grab, it's from a push, it's from this reach in, it's from a posturing position. You intercept the hand when it's going slower, and then you work that takedown. It works very well for you. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and back to Scott.
If you want to try this at home, watch out for your partner's knee. You want to make sure the technique works, but you don't want to injure your friend. As always, start slow, and as your technique improves, ramp up the intensity over time until you can perform this reliably under heavy stress. Your partner's breakfall is critical to ensuring this technique is safe. Never work faster than your partner is capable of. Love getting email from you. Send it to explorer@martialartsexplorer.tv. We'd also like to see video of you demonstrating one of your favorite techniques. Send it to us, and we'll send you a nice thank you gift. For Martial Arts Explorer and Michael Klein up here, I'm Scott Combs.